A PSA from Instacart. It's Sunday, 5 p.m. You had a non-stop weekend. You're running on empty, and so is your fridge. You're in the trenches of the Sunday scaries. You don't have it in you to go to the store, but this is your reminder. You don't have to. You can get everything you need delivered through Instacart so that you can get what you really need. More time to do whatever you want. Instacart. For one less Sunday scary, we're here.
Don't raise your voice to prove you're right. Focus your mind with every word of irrefutable fact you can find. Because conviction is the calm that comes when you know that you really do know. People who read the Financial Times know that they can shape their own perspectives with confidence because their viewpoints are informed by genuinely unbiased journalism. Clarity and conviction. Source, FT. Subscribe to the Financial Times at ft.com/sourceft.
Hey folks, it's Mark Maron from WTF. Today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile, offering reliable nationwide coverage backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Love your service or get your money back, no questions asked. Boost Mobile offers the coverage, network speed, and service you're used to, but at more affordable prices. Why pay more if you don't have to? You can get an unlimited plan for $25 a month that will never increase in price, ever. No price hikes, no multi-line requirements, no stress. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Doors closing.
Morning, Mason.
Hey, Ellie. Heads up, we've got a performer today.
Oh boy. Saxophone guy again?
Worse, accordion mime.
Accordion... what?
He's holding up a sign. This next piece is called Existence. It's a medley.
He's miming while playing the accordion?
Yeah, he keeps pretending the accordion is haunted. At least, I think so. I actually respect the commitment. We did a whole exorcism during my ride yesterday.
I swear, the Blue Line is just a moving experimental theater.
Great, another sign. You, sir, are filled with the ghosts of unfulfilled dreams. Okay, now he's heckling me with spiritual diagnoses. I didn't sign up for mime therapy.
I'm impressed he can play the accordion with one hand while he's holding up the sign.
Aren't mimes supposed to be quiet?
This is Tales from the Blue Line, my auditory anthology.
AI is transforming customer service. It's real and it works. And with Finn, we've built the #1 AI agent for customer service. We're seeing lots of cases where it's solving up to 90% of real queries for real businesses. This includes the real-world complex stuff like issuing a refund or cancelling an order. And we also see it when Finn goes up against competitors. It's top of all the performance benchmarks, top of the G2 leaderboard, and if you're not happy, we'll refund you up to $1 million, which I think says it all. Check it out for yourself at finn.ai.
It's third down. Did you see the game last night? Of course you did, because you used Instacart to do your grocery restock. Plus, you got snacks for the game, all without missing a single play. And that's on multitasking. So we're not saying that Instacart is a hack for game day, but it might be the ultimate play this football season. Enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply. For 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants. Instacart. We're here.
Honestly, accordion guy might be more believable than my story today.
Oh, you're on story duty?
Yep, and this one's got ghosts, cursed hard drives, possessed weathermen, the works.
Wait, possessed weatherman?
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. Let's hope the mime doesn't upstage you.
Too late.
When Brian first took the job as an overnight video archivist for a local news station in Chicago, he assumed the most paranormal thing he'd encounter was the ghost of expired coffee in the break room. The gig was simple. Log old broadcasts, back up footage, label the tapes, and try not to fall asleep before dawn. It was 3 weeks into the job. 2:17 a.m. on a Thursday, when he stumbled across a USB drive in a drawer labeled, in Sharpie, "Do not plug in." Naturally, he plugged it in. The folder inside was named Backup. Subfolders were labeled by date, but none of them matched any known calendar system. There were years listed like 199X and 20 ? Alongside bizarre categories like unsorted screams and interview blinking issue. Curious, Brian clicked on a file marked Field Report 7. The footage looked like a routine man-on-the-street interview, until the subject's eyes rotated 180 degrees mid-sentence and calmly blinked the words, "Help me," in Morse code. Brian leaned closer to the screen. "Oh, that's probably not good." He clicked another file, this one from a cooking segment. A cheerful host stood in front of a table of ingredients, explaining how to make a summer gazpacho. As she blended the ingredients, the blender emitted a deep, guttural growl, then growled again in perfect sync with her laughter. File after file revealed more bizarre and unexplainable moments. A meteorologist slowly rising 2 inches off the ground during the weekly forecast. A guest on a gardening segment suddenly vanishing, replaced frame by frame with a porcelain doll wearing the same outfit. And in one clip, the station's anchor quietly levitating a coffee mug with her mind while no one else in the room reacted. Brian paused the video. Then he rewound it. Sure enough, the coffee mug floated again. He wasn't imagining it. Either someone had gotten very good at after-hours CGI, or something else was happening. Brian sat back in his creaky chair and stared at the blinking folders still left unopened. There were hundreds more, and someone, maybe the station, maybe something else, had gone to great lengths to hide them. After the first night, Brian promised himself he would not look at any more of the backup folder. That resolution lasted until exactly 2:04 a.m. the next night. The folder was still there, still blinking, still daring him. "Okay," Brian muttered, cracking open a Red Bull like he was opening a vault. "One more file." He clicked on a video labeled "Good Morning Chicagoland, July 8, 20 ? It opened on a cheery morning anchor smiling into the camera. "Coming up next, a segment on backyard beekeeping you won't want to miss." Behind her, a swarm of bees had already filled the studio. Not CGI bees, not stock footage. Actual, terrifying, buzzing bees. The anchor didn't notice. None of the crew reacted. A stage manager calmly walked through the cloud of stingers like it was dry ice. Brian recoiled. Okay, that's unbelievable. The next clip featured a segment from the station's old consumer affairs show Deal Breakers, hosted by a guy named Chip McClintock. Chip, wearing a bright orange blazer, interviewed a woman who claimed her smart toaster was haunted. "And what does it say to you?" Chip asked politely. The woman held up the toaster. It glowed red. "Stop microwaving the past," it intoned, in a voice that sounded suspiciously like Werner Herzog. Chip nodded solemnly. "That's not covered under the warranty." Brian couldn't stop watching. Each clip got weirder. In a taped interview with the mayor, the background slowly changed from City Hall to what appeared to be the surface of the moon. Neither the mayor nor the reporter noticed. At one point, an intern walked through the frame with a mop and a fishbowl on his head. At 4:10 a.m., Brian opened a clip labeled simply "Test Footage." It featured a test pattern, a high-pitched hum, and the faint outline of a figure standing in the background behind the color bars, never moving, never blinking. Brian flinched when his own reflection in the monitor shifted. It didn't match his movements. He yanked the power cord from the monitor. The screen went black. The figure was gone. His chair creaked. Something behind him whispered, "Tune in tomorrow." He spun around. The room was empty. Brian decided it was time for a break. He left the studio and went outside, pacing the back alley behind the station. That's when he noticed the vending machine glowing faintly blue and flashing a single message. Upload complete. Brian didn't remember uploading anything. He checked his phone. There was a notification from an app he didn't install. Backup file delivered. Thank you for your contribution. His camera roll was empty, but his storage was full. By the next evening, Brian had sworn off the backup folder, his editing suite, and vending machines entirely. Instead, he brought a sandwich from home and spent most of his shift cleaning out old promo files labeled things like "Meteorologist Blooper Reel, Do Not Delete." He was determined to stay away from anything cursed, haunted, or unsettlingly nostalgic. Then came the email. Subject line, "You're doing great," smile emoji. No sender, no reply address, just a winking emoji and an attached file called Episode 001-pilot final real final.v7.mp4. Absolutely not, Brian said aloud, pushing his chair back. The moment he stood up, the file began playing itself. His monitor flickered to life, showing a shot of the station's lobby live. Brian frowned. He turned toward the control room window that overlooked the lobby. Empty. But on screen, a figure stood at the front desk. The figure waved. Brian blinked. The figure on screen was Brian, wearing the same hoodie he had on now, same sleepy slouch, except the version in the video slowly raised a remote control and pointed it at the security camera. The screen went to static. Brian's heart thudded in his ears, and then a voice behind him. "Pretty wild stuff, huh?" Brian yelped and spun around. A man leaned in the doorway holding a large plastic soda and a bag of cheddar popcorn. He wore a faded lanyard with a visitor badge that simply read, Ralph. Who are you?" Brian stammered. "Oh, don't mind me," Ralph said, stepping in casually. "I'm from the archives, just checking to make sure the backups are running smooth." "The backups? What is this folder? Why is it full of cursed footage?" Ralph shrugged and popped a kernel in his mouth. "Not cursed, just leftover. You know how signals bounce around, digital echoes, broadcast residue. Sometimes the feed gets tangled up in places it shouldn't. Multiverse latency issues, quantum reruns." That's not a thing." "Is now," Ralph said cheerfully. Brian stared. "Why is this happening to me?" "You opened the folder." "You're not going to explain anything, are you?" Ralph beamed. "Nope." The screen flickered again. Brian's doppelganger returned, now sitting at a news desk under a chyron that read, "Live from the other side." "I want to go back to editing car dealership ads," Brian muttered. "Too late," Ralph said, turning toward the vending machine, which now pulsed gently with a soft blue light. "Oh, hey, my ride's here." "Your ride?" With a dramatic whir, the vending machine swung open, revealing a swirling void full of glowing CRT monitors and strange theme music that sounded suspiciously like an off-brand version of Unsolved Mysteries. Ralph gave Brian a finger gun. "Keep the backups tidy, champ, and don't forget to rewind." He stepped into the machine and vanished. The door slammed shut. The soda dropped with a clunk. Brian stared for a full minute before picking it up and cracking it open. "All right," he sighed. "Let's see what's in version 8. The rest of Brian's shift passed in an eerie calm. No emails, no strange files, no spectral Ralph. Just him, a vending machine that occasionally hummed ominously, and a blinking cursor on his edit timeline. He tried going back to his original commercial project, the car dealership one, but every time he imported a new clip, the software auto-corrected the footage to bizarre alternate versions. One featured a saleswoman riding a horse through the showroom. Another replaced all the cars with boats. In one, the owner of the dealership had the unmistakable face of Abraham Lincoln. "You're gonna love the savings," said Lincoln, tipping his top hat and handing a toddler a balloon shaped like a haunted house. Brian gave up. He closed the editing software and stared at the blank screen. He thought about calling his boss, quitting, and never touching a keyboard again, but then he remembered something Ralph had said. Keep the backups tidy. With a deep breath, Brian reopened the mysterious folder. he created a new subfolder and titled it Oddities. Then, clip by clip, he began dragging every bizarre file into it. A looping weatherman giving tomorrow's forecast in Klingon, a birthday message from a woman with 6 arms, a morning traffic report showing flying cars hovering above I-94. He labeled each with a cheerful, color-coded tag: Time Anomaly, Multiversal Artifact, Definitely Not Legal, and Send to Ralph? After an hour, the folder was clean. The software stopped glitching. His original car dealership footage restored itself, as if it had simply been waiting for him to finish tidying up. By sunrise, Bryant had finished editing the commercial. He leaned back, exhausted but proud. Then a notification pinged. One new file in the Oddities folder. Bryant's interview reel 2049. With trembling fingers, Bryant opened the video. There he was, older, a bit grayer, wearing a station badge that read Executive Producer. Behind him in the distant background, a familiar vending machine glowed softly. "I started out just editing car commercials," said future Brian in the video. "Then one night, the backups changed everything." Brian blinked. Future Brian winked. The clip ended. Brian sat very still for a long time. Finally, he stood, stretched, and grabbed a pen from his desk. He scribbled a sticky note and slapped it on the monitor. "Backups are real, don't delete anything, trust the vending machine." Then he walked out of the edit bay into the morning light. And for the first time in a while, he couldn't wait for his next shift.
So yeah, somewhere out there's an entire file folder with footage of haunted vending machines, teleporting weathermen, and Brian's the only one who knows which clips are which.
I'm sorry, did you say the vending machine was glowing?
I did, it only hums like that when it's judging you.
That sounds exactly like the vending machine in our break room, except ours just eats your money and gives you Funyuns from 2009.
Still less cursed than whatever Brian was editing.
You know, for a guy who just wanted to cut a car dealership ad, he sure fell down a multiverse rabbit hole.
To be fair, he did meet a time-traveling version of himself. I mean, if that's not career growth, I don't know what is.
This is Illinois Medical District. This is a Blue Line train to downtown.
Well, I got a 12-hour shift ahead of me, so I'll be thinking about haunted vending machines and psychic editing software all night.
Glad I could be a source of paranoia.
You always are. See you tomorrow?
You know it, and hey, next story might involve a little dog that's smarter than both of us combined.
I already met him. He works in HR.
Tales from the Blue Line by Auditory Anthology is written and produced by me, Keith Conrad. Your narrator is Darren Marlar. Be sure to check out Darren's award-winning paranormal podcast, Weird Darkness, available at WeirdDarkness.com and your podcast app of choice. If you have a story you'd like to contribute to this series, you can do so by visiting submissions.soundconceptmedia.com or just follow the link in the show notes. You can also support the show by subscribing to our new Substack at auditoryanthology.substack.com. By becoming a paid subscriber, you'll help keep the stories coming. You'll also get every single episode completely commercial-free, and now you can also vote on which story will feature in upcoming episodes.
When life brings the blah, add more Yabba Dabba Do with some tasty Fruity Pebbles. Early morning meeting? Blah. Someone brought the pebbles, Yabba Dabba Do. Run errands? Blah. Head to the store for pebbles, Yabba Dabba Do. Fruity Pebbles, less blah, more Yabba Dabba Do. Pick up Pebbles cereal today. Yabba Dabba Do and the Flintstones and all related characters and elements. Copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/podcast.